So just confirming, you've pretty much only played MMR or Dota for about 5 or 6 months, and you're 3.2.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's if you're taking Dota really seriously and trying to get improve, I think that's quite possible. So okay, you only play support really though. You don't really ever play core.
I tried out everything or all the roles when I was doing the unranked grind with my friends because, like, okay, if I like pick PL and feed, who cares, right? And I just found that I like support. I like casting spells more than right clicking. I actually enjoy the back and forth of warding and dewarding. I enjoy, I'm going to be the one to buy a smoke. I'm going to try and make a call. Hope my team listens. I just kind of like that. Position 5 feels sort of like the quarterback, right? Like,
Yeah, it does for sure. But except if you win, you get no credit. That's the difference.
it's fun.
So okay, cool. So you got some replays in mind for us to look at today.
Banana slam jam.
Just first off, my biggest weaknesses, I'm just going to get them out there. So when you point them out, I'm like, yep, I know. Number one biggest weakness is I don't know a lot of matchups. Like, I played against a Visage for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I hero demoed this guy like 2 months ago. I don't remember what the heck to do. Like, I know he has these spells. I know like what he does, but I mean, like, I don't know that matchup super well. So I'm like, do I need this item? Do I need that item? I tried to think about it, but at the same time, I just don't have that experience.
Okay.
The other one, my biggest weakness that isn't like a knowledge thing, I think, is I don't move around the map enough when I have free time. And that's something that I'm sure you're going to point out. And it's something that I'm actively trying to get better at. And I'll like kind of catch myself not looking at the map. Then I'll go to like move my mini map and click on somebody and they're already gone. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. This is the
How
first
old are you,
replay.
by the way?
30.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's interesting. When it comes to like hero matchups and stuff like that, it's a combination of thinking critically about the game and then just sheer experience of playing against whatever. A lot of
Yeah.
Dota, as long as you're thinking critically, all that means is you'll learn from less experience. It's like you still have to have the experience though. Um, so like if you play against heroes you've never played against before, or you play a matchup you've never played against before, thinking critically, the best you can do is guess, right? But like at the end of the day, there's plenty of stuff you'll learn, like myself included, where I have not played a match and I'm like, I think this is how it's gonna go, and then I'll try, and then even if I have a pretty good idea of how it's gonna go because I've played a lot of Dota, it doesn't usually go exactly how I planned it, right?
Yeah.
So then matchups where I'm like really experienced, I know exactly how it's gonna go. I know exactly the power spikes. I know exactly how I want to play the lane and how I want to play the game, and the game just feels like deja vu. I've scripted this shit. I know exactly how it's gonna look. I know, and like it feels really good. But when it comes to learning new heroes, the yeah, there's nothing really more to that than I'm gonna make sure you're asking the right questions about these heroes. But that's all I care about because when you leave the session, as long as you have the right mindset,
Yeah.
every new matchup for you should go. You should learn it as quickly as possible. So I'm gonna share my screen with you on Discord. You see it?
Yep. And just a heads up, the other biggest thing that's my current problem that I'm slowly working on is my hero pool is garbage.
Okay.
Because I basically just started spamming Shadow Shaman because it's like, okay, he can shove waves, he can push towers, he has CC. If my teammates don't pick it, I'm just going to pick this guy and focus on everything else because I'm comfortable on him. And I'm slowly expanding my hero pool, but thankfully supports pick first, so I don't usually have to worry about counter picks or anything.
Yeah, you can just pick your hero first every game. It's really, I think support's actually the easiest role to expand your hero pool because you don't have to worry nearly as much about where if you get countered, you get countered, right? But you're a support,
Yeah.
so you can just pick first.
Yeah, like the best thing I can do is hover and then see what my other support's going to pick and try and not screw them over.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that is a good point for sure.
So this replay, I really only want to watch the first about 10 minutes because the rest of the game is kind of irrelevant for what I would like to
hero
learn.
are you here?
I am the Witch Doctor.
Okay.
What I want to get out of this replay specifically is what do I do when the position 4 is really good at fucking with me? Because this 4, like, he messes with my pulls, like, and specifically as a Dire, when I go to pull the small camp, it feels like that is the same time that the position 4 wants to pull the big camp, and it's like wrapping my head around that. But basically, this is me trying to expand my hero pool, picking Witch Doctor, so I know that I do some suboptimal mechanical and just decision making plays. But this Pudge is really good at messing with me, and I just want to get your feedback on sort of like what I need to be thinking about and all that kind of stuff.
So how do you like? Okay, this is actually interesting to me. So I might have missed. So how much MOBA experience did you say you have?
I played League for about 2 years, like from beta through season 1, and I played it quite a bit. This was like when I had a lot of free time.
Okay.
Um,
So,
but
and then my next question is: you said you watch some of my content, right? Like, how often do
yeah,
you watch
I
my
was about to
content
say it
specifically?
was not just yours. Basically, before I even started playing Dota, like I followed Day 9 on YouTube, and he had his whole series of learning. I was like, I'm just gonna. I mean, I like playing Dota and Warcraft 3, and I enjoyed playing League. Like, I'm just gonna watch this. So I watched like all the Purge content with Day 9 just to kind of learn all the mechanic stuff. And then I found your content a few months ago. Like a friend linked it, and I just like fiended through like 3 months of your videos in like a 3 week period, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like I have been consuming a lot of YouTube content. Probably I've been watching more videos than playing and trying to just like think about stuff, because before I started watching your stuff, I would just buy just regen unless I knew I needed a stick for like a bristle. But then I started watching your videos, and I had a lane where I was laying against a tiny, and so I actually bought a windlace because it's like, well, I don't want him to get near me and toss me, and it's like, well, it's also a tiny lane. He's gonna burst me down, so I bought a salve, right? Like stuff
Yeah.
like that. I've been trying to apply my brain. It's just my brain isn't always right, but as long as I'm thinking, that's
Do you feel
what
like consuming all that content has made like a palpable difference in your games for you?
it's made a palpable difference in terms of I do feel myself getting better, but it's also causing information overload, because I got to be
Absolutely.
honest,
Yeah.
like climbing from Archon to Legend, like I didn't really consume as much of your content specifically. I just kind of did my own
I don't
thing.
care about that. Like,
I know.
yeah. Go ahead though.
Hold on, I have my point's pretty decent. I
Okay.
think.
Go ahead.
Like I wasn't thinking, I was just playing the game. And honestly, to climb through Archon, all you have to do is like get on the mic and tell your teammates, "Hey guys, let's all do this." Because if you have 5 idiots all doing the wrong thing and the enemy team only has 3 people doing the right thing, as long as you're together, like you're gonna win those games. And so I
Yeah.
would just get on the mic and be like, "Guys, let's smoke and kill them, and then try and take this tower." And if they say, "Yeah, sure, it worked," and we did it. And if they say no, it's like, well, I can't do anything, but at least I tried.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
now that I've started like trying to think about the game more, like I'll just get that information overload where I kind of get like some decision paralysis and things like that. And I'll just kind of like waffle on what to do. But I do feel like I'm getting better as I'm getting more habit forming.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because the goal of the information that I provide personally is that like a lot of the questions you just have to ask yourself, and then eventually, if you ask it enough, you'll just remember to ask it, every single game, and then it takes up your mind, obviously, like you do think about it, but it's so quick, right? You're like, what do I need for this lane? Or real quick, what are like important concepts I need against Bristle, and then if I've laned against Bristle as a core 10 times, at this point, I know exactly what I'm worried about and what I should be concerned about, right? Because Dota, there's just like a bajillion things to think about potentially, and only like 5 or 10 of them actually matter, right? That's like the cool thing about Dota. So learning to sort through that shit is why I try to teach people to practice asking themselves questions, because at first I do expect some semblance of information overload, but eventually you'll start to learn that certain things matter in certain matchups, and then suddenly that information overload is not very overloady anymore. So yeah, I was just curious because like even just seeing you telling this guy to Quelling Blade this tree, like that tells me a lot, like about you. Like a lot of supports in my bracket won't even ask for that, right? So
Don't worry, I suck at the pull, but I want the opportunity to do it.
it's just the point where it's like these little things that need to be done to have all the set up for you is really important, and people at your bracket usually don't give a shit about that. That's why I was like asking this concept specifically. I'm like, there's no way you know this without watching videos. Like, there's just
Actually, one of my friends, I have a couple of my friends I was 5 stacking with are divine players, and they would just point stuff out.
That makes sense.
That also helped. One of them's a divine support player, and I'll just go to him with random questions. So
that makes sense. Against Pudge, I would likely consider a Windlace as well, similar to Tiny. The nice thing about Pudge is that he's so slow.
Yeah.
Even with boots, you're like as fast as him with a Windlace.
Yeah,
right?
I was
like
so
it's
torn
about
between.
the same.
Would you get stick and windlace in this lane? Because I was just like, I'm not gonna have money for anything else if I do that.
Yeah, I would get stick Windlace, and then
Okay.
I would fly myself like all the regen in the world as my first items. So
That
I'd
makes
probably use like a salve and like clarity if I need to, whatever at that point. Maybe an extra set of tangos, but I would definitely start with Windlay Stick because all these mana regen items, they're just not necessary if you have a stick. It's not
That's
saying
fair.
you never need mana, but like you're not going to need mana for the first like 2 minutes of the lane.
Yeah, that's
Because
fair. I do like Windlays.
right?
Yeah.
The stick will carry you through the first 2 minutes of the lane in terms of mana, right? So like the perfection of laning stage is something you can perfect for other stages of the game, but it's the best to practice in the laning stage is understanding like exact periods where you need exact items, right? So it's like for me, it's like I know you need mana, but you don't need that with the first 600 gold because if you are trading with this Pudge a lot, which you're naturally going to do, he's going to stand in front of you because you want to hit the bristle, but he's going to do that. Then the only way to be efficient against Pudge is for him to hit you less, right?
Yeah.
Which is winless. Like you're not going to trade better with him, right? You're going to just make him hit you less.
Yeah.
So
immediately.
What's up?
I just said, yeah, I have to end up salving immediately.
Yeah, exactly. And that salve that could have been used later on your carry or yourself is used on you, and now you're missing 110 gold. And you're going for a buckler, a ring of protection, which I also think is reasonable. If you were in a lane where you didn't need a stick and you were against like high physical damage, I think like ring of protection starting item would have been reasonable. Where you're trading a lot and you're taking the damage. Say you're against like a Wind Ranger or like a Marana 4. You're taking a lot of right clicks and you're not going to be able to dodge the damage. So when it comes to like damage mitigation, it's all about, am I able to avoid this damage?
Yeah.
It's just that simple, right? So against Pudge, yes. So you buy movement speed. Against ranged heroes, no. So you maybe buy some Fairy Fires or, Ring of Protection. So I think the thought process behind a buckler makes a lot of sense, but you need to take care of yourself first. Otherwise, you're just going to be spending way too much gold on regen.
That's fair.
Okay, so my question would be, who pushes the lane better, level 1? Your team, or their team? Why?
Their team, because Bristol just Wills hits everything.
Okay. So if their team naturally pushes it better, the only question you have to ask yourself at that point is, can we stop them?
Okay.
Okay, like if we do something, can we actually stop that from happening? So I would say if you have to walk through Pudge to hit Bristle, that doesn't feel that great. Sven is a carry that comes online really hard, level like 3, 4, and you're a hero that comes online really hard, level 2, right? You want your Cask plus Maledict.
Yeah.
So with that being said, since you can't really stop this guy very well, you have to basically say, okay, the lane's going to push into me. I want to pull this small camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're pulling the small camp, you're doing exactly what you're intending to do, where you're giving your Sven as much solo XP as possible, and they're contesting you. So you were concerned about, what the opponent could do if you pull the small camp, which is pull the large camp, right?
Yeah.
And based on this lane, if you go pull the small, is there anything you can do without dying to go stop them from pulling the large camp?
No, and you're gonna see that later.
Yeah. So what's going to be my answer to your question then?
Just don't.
No, just don't block the camp.
Oh yeah,
Just block the camp. Like it's like if that's going to be a problem, which in every lane it has to be considered, whether or not the big camp is a problem. A lot of it has to do with who pushes the lane better, right? If the big camp, if your heroes push the lane better, the big camp's usually helpful to you. If they push the lane better, then it's usually helpful to them, right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
So would you agree that eventually your team pushes the lane pretty well?
Yeah,
you have a Sven with Cleave.
Gets online, he has Cleave, and then it's...
So I would argue you could like sentry the big camp and then just deny your own sentry at like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Where, you want to start stacking the big camp for your Sven, but before that, it's a hindrance that big camp exists. It makes you feel like you're out of position. It makes you feel uncomfortable because you want the Sven to be in front of you, but if you want to stop the camp, then you have to be in front. You see what I'm getting at? So this is a lot about, you said the big camp's an issue, and I just want you as a support to know every single lane, it's a potential issue. It's a tool you can use to win the lane, right? Or lose the lane. So here, it's great that you recognize that it is a problem, and I would agree since you're against Bristle it is, but it really all has to do with who pushes the lane better, you or them. Okay, so you are letting Sven get solo XP. I would have probably tried to stack the small. This is fine, though. I think denying that stack is a perfect use of your time, so that's fine. You need to immediately go pull because the lane's pushed so far.
This is sort of that waffling where I'm like, I need to help him. Oh,
Okay.
I should have pulled on this pulling, and now I go for this. So.
Oh, okay. So you weren't thinking this is the better pull. You just panicked because you realized you were late for the other pull?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this one is bad because if he was good, he would just stop you.
Yep, and I think he does later or something. But yeah, like I said, I just kind of get that like, what do I do? And then I just try and do it.
Also, in this lane where you're trying to avoid the opponents, the win lace is so much better because a lot of those lanes where you're trying to avoid the opponents, you're also pulling a lot more.
Yeah.
So you can run from lane to camp faster. So it's not just about dodging their spells and shit. It's about like knowing we're going to utilize the pull camps a lot. I'm going to give my carry a lot of solo XP, and I'm just going to be doing a lot of walking, right? So, yeah, it would definitely help you a lot to have a win lace here. It's so important that you have pulled a camp once and gotten level 2 off of it, and then you guys win that engagement, you actually kill Bristle.
Yeah.
So it's just an inefficiency that costs you your death here, and completely avoidable.
It's like that, or if I had a win lace, I might have been able to chase him longer or something, or get away. I don't know. There's so many like little things.
They all add up though so quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
In my bracket, even you win and lose lanes based on these little things. So.
Yeah.
It's all about who does the little things better, right? That's all it is.
Yeah. This is what I mean. Like, I just feel like I can't go pull because the pudge is right there. It's like, well, I'm just gonna keep him from hitting spin, I guess.
No, that's a reasonable plan of action, but up until this point, you've given them too much, right? I think you guys should win this lane. Pudge Bristle's pretty weak lane, honestly. But it required you guys to basically give your Sven level 3 before the Bristle, and then just kill the Bristle. That's basically how you guys won this lane. And even though what's happening is happening, your Sven is still out leveling the Bristle. But yeah, if you don't know, Bristle's power spike is level 3.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to base.
Agents of the void.
Yeah, I end up picking up his stuff and. Yeah, that's. I think that's mainly when I wanted to get out. If you want to watch like a few more minutes, I think I ended up like feeding a couple times or something because I was just kind of like, I'm not sure how to deal with this, but I do get to style on Pudge, so that's nice. But yeah, we ended up in a bad spot.
Yeah, this lane is a lot about your first 3 or 4 minutes. You would have crushed this lane if you won the first 3 or 4 minutes. Like, you would have crushed it. Because you'd have boots, so you wouldn't be taking like any damage at all, and then. You could actually afford regen for your Sven, and you buy him a bunch of salves, then he doesn't have to buy himself salves, and then he's level 6 and the Bristle's level 4, and then, you know, all that kind of shit. I definitely think I agree that, you know, I'm down to end this replay here and go to the next one.
Yep, I just have to figure out how to message you and not close the call because I have it full screened. Hold on.
It's usually the bottom right, you can unfull screen it.
There we go.
Okay.
This is, I had to hit escape, or I hit escape and it worked. This one, I am the Shadow Shaman, and
you're good. You can keep going.
So I'm the Shadow Shaman in this game, and this is one where I felt like I had a pretty good laning. I'm never going to say I had a good lane, because obviously I'm 3K, I'm not good at the game. But I feel like we were in a good position coming out of the lane, and then it just feels like the game slowly spiraled out of control from a combination of just like, I played poorly, my team played poorly, but I just would like to see, like, you know, could I have had, I mean, I want to know what I could have done to have a better impact in this game.
Okay. Having some technical issues here.
Yep.
Give me a second here. Can I push watch without watching this game again? Okay. That was not my fault. I blame Dota. So, say that very last part of what you just said again. You said you felt like you had a good lane, but you know it could be better, and then what was the end of it?
It just, the game kind of slowly spiraled out of control, and I feel like I definitely could have had a better impact. I'm just not sure.
So do you want me to watch the whole game or a specific portion of it?
If you just want to skim through the lane and see if anything jumps out, but then we kind of just like,
that's fine.
You can just go like 2 or 4 speed through this.
That's a lot of fucking tangos, my man.
This one was, so I was in a weird spot. This lane is Beastmaster, Sand King, and obviously I wanted the Sentry in case so that he can't go Sandstorm level 1.
Yeah.
and I was thinking, well, he's gonna go like Sandstorm, Stun, and Beastmaster has little boars that poke me. I wanted the Tangos because I didn't feel like I was gonna be bursted.
So what about your Monkey King? What type of way does he play the lane?
He wants to hit people.
And he wants to commit pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
So Monkey King is the type of hero I almost always buy a salve for. The Ursas, the Slarks. They usually try to force a really hard engagement at some point, and both heroes get low. So it's less about you in this case, it's more about your Monkey King. I think your assessment is reasonable, but it's not according to your actual carry hero.
Okay.
Just think about the way heroes play lanes. Are they consistent traders? Are they hard committers? You know, what type of laners are they, right?
Yeah,
like
I was thinking
Sven is a trader, right? While Monkey King is more of a hard committer.
Yeah, I was thinking me instead of us. You know, the classic relationship problem, right?
Yeah, I want you to yeah. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so the thing about supporting, the best skill is that you need to think about yourself in terms of not making yourself absolutely useless. Like, you need to not be useless, right? A useless piece of shit is the term I used in the Ares series. But then after that, once you're not useless, you need to think about everyone else. So in the lane, that's your carry. In the mid game, that's, you know, who's ever trying to take fights or farm or whatever. But right now, it's your carry, right? So we start with your carry. So I'd say the Wind Lace makes you not completely useless. Give yourself some regen. So 4 Tangos is reasonable because you gave 2 to mid. And then at that point, you start thinking about your carry.
Yeah. And I'm still kind of getting the feel for how many Tangos is enough, because there'll be times when I'm like, I think I need more Tangos, and I'll fly them out, and then they're just like sitting in my backpack or whatever. So I definitely agree.
A little efficiency thing on supporting is I try to, if possible, I actually try to skim out on Tangos as much as possible and get an early Ring of Regen towards Tranquils. I think Tranquils are just super broken right now.
Yeah.
So if it can save you buying, you know, a salve or 2 sets of Tangos just to buy some Tranquils, it's so worth it, you know? That's what I've noticed. My item progression in mid-game is so much better. If I'm a hero like Shaman that's mana reliant and usually can't afford to go Tranquils, I just buy a Bassi. Super value item right now, so I just go like Tranquils Bassi.
Gotcha. I usually just spam Clarities.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you can buy... You want to have Clarities to buy. Like, almost every game on support, I buy Clarities. But if you... Like, these are greedy versions of support items, right? Like, getting the Tranquils saves you health regen. Getting the Bassi will save you Clarities. So in the meantime, I don't want you to, like, save up for a Bassi with no mana, right?
Yeah.
But if you can squeeze a Bassi in there without having to continuously fly 4 Clarities, instead you fly, like, 1 or 2, that's, like, the greedy way to play support. So it's like a lot of my lanes, I'll get a casual Ring of Regen right now. If I need extra regen, you know, I wouldn't have these Tangos that have, like, a Ring of Regen. Maybe fly myself a salve at this point. So instead of 3 Tangos, I have that. It's just like that Ring of Regen's permanent, right? While the Tangos aren't. So as often as possible that we can do that is good. So you pulled. Monkey King's up in the lane. You're trying to pull again. Okay. You're giving him a lot of soul XP, which is great. You're going to keep pulling. This is good. Minimal participation in this lane, I think. Monkey King's like a level 4-ish hero now because of the way they reworked Jingu. Nice. Very good laning. Very, very happy with the lane. So you're gonna pull this. Yep. Textbook shit, man. You'll win lanes in your bracket every game you play like this. You only got 2 creeps, but it's whatever.
That stun was to try and save the courier. Just
makes sense. Perfectly fine to pull this camp when the lane's that far pushed out. Okay.
So this is sort of why, like, this game was frustrating, because I'm like, oh yeah, no, we're doing good, Monkey King's doing well or whatever, and then just sort of like, and this goes back to that weakness I mentioned of not clicking on heroes around the 12-minute mark. The Shadow Fiend has a Shadow Blade, and I didn't realize it, and we smoke ganked them and didn't have detection. So that's
I've got a question for you, buddy.
Yeah.
So I was listening, but you know, we're gonna talk about shit that actually matters. So no offense. So my question for you is that it seems like bottom you had a lot of control, right?
Yep.
And the issue was that you were constantly pulling. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So having ward control of that area is so important. If you're pulling that often, it's just so important.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna ward this area, which I think is good, like this is good.
Yep.
It's a good ward because you understand you want ward control of this area. And for people who are watching who don't understand what I mean, he's gonna be pulling a lot. This is the area we want to control because that's what he cares about. So you have to deward this area too.
Yeah.
You just have to ward sentry this shit. Not only is it potentially gonna get ward, but you're also against Beastmaster, who has Hawks, right?
Yeah.
So it's like always worth having a sentry against Beastmaster specifically. At your bracket, though, I don't really know how often you play against Beastmaster. I feel like you don't see this hero often. Is that true? Or
I'll see him around, but I'm not super familiar. Like I know what he does, but like I'm not super comfortable against him. But I have an idea of what to expect.
Okay, so there's a way I like to think about offlaners. Okay, they fall somewhere on this scale of feast or famine. Okay, so what I mean by feast or famine is 10 would imply that the hero has a wide range of how good they are. Meaning, if they have a really good lane, they're a 10. If they have a really bad lane, they're a 1. Okay, and then a 1 hero is kind of like you obviously want to try to have a good lane, but they'll recover pretty well.
Yeah.
So feast or famine would be a 10. Kind of consistent, but doesn't really matter if their start's a little bit rough. Is a 1. Okay.
Okay.
So where on that scale do you think Beastmaster falls?
Beastmaster wants to. I mean, I'm just gonna say what I think. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
He wants to win the lane, get early levels, and shove in towers because he's more of a pressure hero.
Okay. So if 10 means he's feast or famine, and 1 means he doesn't really matter about his lane being good or bad, what would you say is?
Probably an 8, just because I don't know if he can like jungle with his creeps if it goes to trash. But
yeah, he's very high. He's very high on this list. 8, 9, 10 ish. Okay.
Okay.
Like he's about the definition of a feast or famine offlaner. Like if he wins his lane, game's almost always over. Like actually, if I play Beastmaster at the highest bracket, he's a really weak laner. Early levels, like level 3 is his huge power spike because the boar gets 20% slow as opposed to 10, so he can start killing people with boars. But level 1 and 2, he's actually so fucking weak that if he's allowed to win his lane, it's like GG, right? Like that's actually how feast or famine this hero is.
Gotcha.
And another reason why he's feast famine is because most carries die to him when he's level 6. If he gets level 6 before them, it's like GG because it's like the carry can't even walk into lane anymore. And if the carry can't walk into lane, usually the support can't walk into lane either, and then the tower dies at 6 minutes or whatever. So, with that being said, what do you think I'm getting at with feast or famine offlaners? Like, why would I ask you this question?
Because I TP to top instead of putting a lot of pressure on Beastmaster.
Absolutely. So if it's an offlaner that's like kind of whatever on this scale, then you let them have what they get. You give a carry a lead, and then you let them be, right? An example of this would be maybe like a Venomancer, or like once they fall behind, they're going to recover, right? Like, you want to put the Venomancer behind, but he's going to recover no matter what.
Yeah.
You get that? Okay. So another example would be like a Darkseer, an Enigma. All of these heroes farm their way back into the game, right? So it's like, yes, you don't want to give them that early start because most of them will take your tower, put a lot of pressure on your carry. But once they don't get that start, all you did was slow them down, and your carry's not going to die to them. Okay.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, what?
You're saying you can't really shut them down. You can just kind of delay their timing.
Yes, you delay their timings, and then at that point, usually the most efficient play for you is to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Because you've slowed them down, your carry's now like a level ahead of them. Your carry plays the efficiency game too. That's what these heroes are playing, right? This efficiency game, the Darkseers, the Venos, the Enigmas, they're just trying to farm more than your carry. So you give your carry that bolster, and then you're like, okay, now that my carry's in a 1v1 vacuum against another guy that farms, he's going to win because I gave him this advantage. Okay. But against kill heroes, right? Against the Beastmasters, the Pangoliers, the Bat Riders, you want to fucking shit on their dreams. Their dreams need to fucking die. If they're level 3, you leave them level 3 for the rest of the fucking game because that's possible. Okay? Because against Veno, if you try to keep pressuring him, he's just going to place a bunch of wards, get XP, and then eventually he's level 5 or 6, and, your time was spent shutting him down, but he's still getting something, right?
Yeah.
It's like, in this game, where is it here? I want to show you my was it? It wasn't this game. Don't look at this game history. It's yikes. Okay.
We've all been there.
Right here. So, like, when I'm against a hero like Batrider offlane, right? Like, my entire itemization is about dumpstering this guy. It's like, as a carry, I think this way too, right? So, like, I get Phase Orb of Venom first items because I was winning the lane, and I'm like, all I need to do is dumpster the shit out of this Batrider, right? And it's like, I'm level 6, this guy's level fucking 3. And it's like, my entire gameplay is about making this guy's life a living fucking hell, okay? Like, that's all it is. Because these guys are feast or famine offlaners. It's like, my itemization, my way of playing, and your idea as a support is really important for this. Because if I'm against a Vino, I want you to fuck off. Like, get out of my lane. Like, at this point, I'm trying to out-farm and out-trade a Vino, and you're just soaking my XP. You can come back and gank for me. I'm not telling you to just, like, never come back. But consistently sitting in the lane against those type of lanes is really bad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so against Beastmaster, I want you to shit on this guy's life. I want this Monkey King to be like level 7 and Beastmaster to be level 4. Which, the way you shit on him is doing exactly what you've been doing up until this point, right?
Okay.
You've been doing it right, where you are constantly pulling, and then you come back and kill the guy because you have a kill carry, right? Like, that's what you have. You have a carry that kills people. So it's like, you're playing out of the lane, you're giving him as much solo XP as possible, you come back into the lane, kill, and then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And all these trades, your carry's getting more XP, and the enemy offlaner's dying, and it looks like this, right?
Yeah.
So I want this to turn into Monkey King being level 7 before this guy's level 6. That's what I want this to turn into. So up until this point, perfect, right? Great. So if you're going to TP anywhere else, in these type of lanes, it has to be like out of complete necessity. Like emergency situation. Your carry's getting dove mid lane, dying to 3 heroes, and if you TP in, you save him. Right? Like, that's the level of emergency that it needs to have. So as a support, a really important question to ask yourself is, at this stage, especially in games where I've given my carry an advantage, am I supposed to leave him predominantly, or am I supposed to stay with him? And then on top of that, if I think I'm supposed to leave him, is he potentially gankable? And if that's the case, how would that affect my decision to leave him?
Gotcha.
No, I'm asking you, like, how would that affect it? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Could you re-ask the question? Because I was about to make it just a statement.
No, you're good. So I'm asking, so we've established we think we're supposed to leave our carry. So say we've answered with, I think I'm supposed to leave. But I think my carry's gankable. What does that mean for me?
I have to walk to wherever I want to leave.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I have to walk somewhere. I don't TP, I walk, right? Like, that is a very important distinction. Because if you TP somewhere, it means you have no intent of coming back, right? But if you walk somewhere, you're like, I don't want to be here, but I do intend to come back. So it's like, or I do intend to want to be able to come back, given the opportunity. So in this lane, if you were to ever leave, I definitely think you should be walking.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like your carry's gankable. So I don't want you to feel glued to the lane. If you can find little moments to go check runes or go stack a camp or gank mid real quick, whatever, great. But you should never TP for it in this game. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I want you to be able to draw that parallel to other games, though. Did I give you like the right thought process there?
Yeah, no, I've been defaulting to, like, my carries ahead. Okay, they're 4 rotated. I'm gonna rotate and try and, like, help out.
Yeah.
Right. And I wasn't thinking, like, okay, I need to shut down this offlaner. It's just my carries ahead. It's fine, right? Like, that's what my brain defaulted to. So just having that as an option in my head is something that. That's why I want this coaching session.
This is the beauty thought process here. I want to tell you carry 101, okay? Yeah. I'm against a Beastmaster. Beastmaster's a kill hero, right? That's what he is. He's super annoying for carries to lane against as well. His boars are super toxic. Even if I'm ahead of him in levels, this is what I deal with, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'll show you as from a carry perspective. This is what happens.
Yeah.
I just had to expend mana to make the support fuck off, and I just took like half my health and damage. So what I'm saying is, in a vacuum, your carry beats the enemy offlaner, like crushes them in a vacuum. But this is the type these snowballing offlaners, the Batriders, the Beastmasters, they operate incredibly well with +1s. Okay, so like Batrider, if he's not able to be aggressive, but suddenly your support leaves and the opponent support ganks, the Batrider can kill you full to 0 with Firefly Sticky. With Beastmaster, it's the same shit. He can kill you with a board just running you down. You see this, right? this dynamic. So what that dynamic means is I'm super fucking strong as a carry. I crushed this guy in a 1v1. So I want you to give me as much solo XP as I can because I'm going to keep crushing this guy. But if he gets help, please, for the love of God, make them fuck off. You know, like, get them out of here. Because if your carry is stronger in a 1v1, he's also going to be stronger in the 2v2, right? So it's like, you don't want to give him a 1v2. It's actually so important that you don't leave him in this 1v2. So it's like your Snapfire is here. And this is actually an interesting dynamic of a lane I don't get to talk about very often in the support roles. I think it's actually very prevalent. It happens a lot based on certain matchups where both heroes kind of kill each other, but one of them is naturally ahead. And it's so important that you are always capable of helping these lanes. Because as a carry, I'm like, come back, this is ridiculous. I'm level 6 and the guy's level 5 and they're being aggressive on me. What the fuck? You know? Yeah. But you have to think about it though. If Beastmaster operates like this, if Batrider operates like this, the offlaner is going to naturally call for help. Because he sees this solo safe laner that he loses to, but if he gets help, he wins. So he's naturally going to call for help, right? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So if he's going to call for help, and if you helping against their help crushes it, you need to be ready for that, right? Like that's it's actually such an important skill to have as a support. I don't think I've ever talked about it in a coaching session before. So this here is exactly what should happen. They try to be aggressive on your carry's annoyed because he's like stronger, and then a support comes down like this Snapfire and just shits on that guy. Like that's exactly what it should look like. And you want it to be able to be you. It doesn't always have to be you, right?
Yeah.
But TPing away prevents this opportunity. So that is exactly how it should go. The script right there.
Okay.
Okay. One before boots. Yoicks.
I don't remember why I did that, but
yeah, there's no explanation. You just did it, and it's trash.
Yeah. No, I've heard you rant about that. I don't remember why I did that in the moment, so, you know.
Yeah, it's all good. You know it's wrong. You autopiloted, sounds like. It's all good.
If I were to give myself an excuse, it might have been, oh, we might be in fight mode and I might get to 20 charges, but obviously that didn't happen.
The thing is, there's literally no game mode where this is better than boots.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
Like I said, I'm not going to argue with
you. No,
you.
the funny thing is here, I'm not telling you you're arguing with me. This is for everyone watching. There's, I want you guys to situationally adjust your items. Upgrading a stick to wand on support before boots is like literally never correct.
Yeah.
Literally never.
And I think the funny part is if I were to watch 100 replays, this is probably the only one where that happens. So it's like the classic.
Nice. So this is fine, where you walk mid and you are looking to gank or support your Wind Ranger, and then you need to help bottom. So by you leaving bottom like this, your Monkey King no longer wants to occupy it. Okay? You're literally forcing your Monkey King out of bottom by being away from his lane. Can you see how that would affect him?
Yeah, because he's like, well, no one's here.
Yeah, no one's here. I don't want to lane solo against a Beastmaster. I'm out.
Yeah.
So if you say, hey, Monkey King, like, I'm mid, but I can TB bottom to help or whatever, then that's so different. That's just, like, so game-changing. And at that point, so UT being top this game is, like, terrible continuously. Yeah. Not only is it that you're trying to gank a lane with a mag as your offlaner, like, is that a hero you're really trying to gank for? But
you're trying to save somebody there, but yeah.
Well, it's still, you're participating, right? Yeah. So then, is Shadow Shaman a save hero?
I mean, if
don't you save people by standing in place and stunning? Like, isn't that what you do? So you just die? Like, you're not a save hero.
I save people and I die.
Yeah, but that's not. You're not a save hero, dude. Like,
I'm just.
I know. It's like, save heroes are ones that like quickly disengage the fight with a fissure or Oracle purging his teammate or some shit. It's like. You're not a save hero if you have to throw yourself to the wolves to save somebody.
I just had that martyr spirit.
I understand. You're trying to embrace the true selfless support here. I
get what you're saying.
These TPs at top are really bad. I'm just going to keep emphasizing that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And one thing I do, which I guess doesn't show up in the replay, is I'm always like pinging my TP scroll if it's up of like, that's my... I'm available to TP button, I guess. So I try and communicate as well as I can. Like if I have TP up, if I'm watching a lane, I'll say, hey, I'm watching top, I can TP, stuff like that. So I try to communicate it, but I see how TPing away is just wrong because now I can't TP back. So.
I'm just gonna tell you, this isn't trying to make you feel bad. You have single-handedly ruined your Monkey King's game.
Okay.
I want you to actually understand that because your Monkey King crushed his lane. Now he's dead. You're going to lose your tower to a Beastmaster, and it's all because of your TP's top.
Okay.
And I'm telling you this as a support and for people watching. because it's not like the core mentality that, you know, it's always your fault. It's that you actually have the power to win this game for your Monkey King. You actually have the power. It is within your control. And by you continuously leaving him alone and TPing to the wrong lanes, you're fucking him. And it's actually so game-changing. Because I am so tired of people watching my streams and, like, hearing support coaching sessions or coming into my chat and saying, BSJ support, I feel like I have no impact on the game at all. Right? Like, I feel like past the first 5 minutes, I'm just a hero in the game. And it's like, your rotations early to mid-game win games. Like, they really win games. If you constantly were, like, playing between bottom and mid, pulling, getting your level 6 pretty early, you had boots, you maybe ganked mid one time because you plus Wind Ranger could be a kill on Shadow Fiend, and then every other time that they showed heroes top, you killed the Beastmaster, this game's free.
Yeah.
Like, this game's actually free, right?
And the best part is when you just lay it out in, like, those 3 sentences, it's like, wow, duh, right?
Right. And that's the thing is, right, that's why, for me, since my personal growth as a player has been a lot conceptual in the last, like, year or two, I can play support much better now. The supports I suck at are the ones that, like, have mechanical uniqueness, where I just suck at them mechanically and I don't know how to make use of their skills. But if you put me... Yeah, if you put me on any generic support whose spells aren't that hard to cast, I actually think I fucking own a support. So it's just like, I think my concept as a support is really good, but my, like, execution of unique heroes is not good. So it's like, it's funny, because you hear this out, and it's like, all this required was you understanding your core-to-core matchup. And you said you don't understand core-to-core matchups, right? So my goal here from this game specifically is, I'm not hoping you or anybody watching takes it as, I now know how Monkey King works for his Beastmaster. It's like, I now know I need to think about, is the offlaner a snowballing hero that I need to continuously shut down, or is it a hero that I should leave be to let him recover slowly?
Yeah, it's do I need to, like, put my foot on his throat and not let him get back up, or is it I can't hold him down, so why bother?
Yes, exactly. And also, is your hero a counter-ganking hero or a ganking hero?
Ganking, man. I walk
so
up.
So you are the initiator. You are making the proactive plays, not the reactive plays. So that needs to be understood. You've TP'd to react to things 3 times already.
Yeah.
Right? But your hero isn't a reactive hero. It is a do shit hero on its own terms. So that needs to be the way you, like, in terms of, you need to think what lanes are the opponents likely to make plays for, because that doesn't matter to you in every game. But you're more about what lane is best for me to make plays for, right? Like, for my own perspective, because it's like Monkey King feels great to gank for, Wind Ranger feels great to gank for. Mag, I'm going to let him do his fucking thing. You know, if Monkey King goes top, suddenly that becomes the lane I might try to gank for, you know? And if I don't feel like I'm capable of ganking that lane, maybe I'll just sit bottom until I am. Maybe I need level 6, maybe I need boots, whatever. Okay.
Yep.
So you guys lose your tower, or... Yeah, you do lose your tower. Okay. Like, whenever I play Beastmaster at the highest level, if I lose my lane at the start, I get camped for literally, like, the rest of the game.
Gotcha.
I'm never allowed to walk up in a lane without getting remanned. It's super fucking annoying. Okay, so you TP. You're still not level 6 at 13 minutes. It's pretty much all your TPs. It really is. I don't want you to overthink it. If you had just stayed bottom and prioritized the pulls and then ganked proactively, just because your hero's not a gank, you're a counter ganker, right? So you're naturally going to be inefficient when you're trying to counter gank on this hero.
Yeah.
And getting your level 6 at 13 minutes is raw inefficiency. I would have probably tanked the tower for your creep, your wards there. Do you really have any other impact here?
Nope.
Right? Like, does it matter if you're full health or 300?
Nah.
Your wards are what matter.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, right here, I would have... it's reasonable that you want to use your wards to secure this kill. I'm fucking tanking this tower.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, tanking for the creeps, the wards. And I'm going to lose all my fucking health. And then these 5 wards are going to live and kill the tower.
Yeah.
And then after I do that, I'm probably going to walk to base. Maybe buy some tranquils and 3 clarities and call it good.
Yeah.
You know, either way. Whatever you want to do. You're just lingering. You just took way too long to take this tower because you prioritized your own health over your wards. Because your wards are what take the tower, not you. Okay, let's see. So you... Come on, free
walk
camera.
up and die. Yeah.
Yep.
That was we were all on the mic, and it was the classic. 3 people say, "Let's defend mid." Oh, I don't want to defend mid, and I TP'd and was like, I made an assumption, and then just
So why do you think what happened here happened?
because I just walked out into 4 people like a moron.
No. So like, why is it that your team is late to help your Wind Ranger?
Because top took so long to do.
Yeah. It's actually that simple, dude.
Yeah,
You took 20 seconds longer to take a tower than you should in that time. If you are committing 5 heroes, if you cost 5 heroes 20 seconds, you have wasted 1 minute and 40 seconds. You have wasted 1 minute and 40 seconds by not tanking tower for your wards, right?
Yeah, dude.
That is crazy, isn't it? That's crazy.
I'm going insane.
Yeah, you're literally losing your shit here. So like, if there's a lot of heroes there, it's even more important that you're efficient with your time in every bit of every regard. And once again, is Shaman going to have more success walking to a lane and ganking somebody or TPing in to counter gank?
Gank.
Yeah, right? So how many times in the future should I see you TPing to counter gank and die like this?
Hopefully none.
Very few.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to I think this is a niche situation where I have to. But that's not the ideal situation. That's not what you're normally going to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if it happens once a game, sure, like, you went for a close call kind of thing. I've now watched you TP to a lane and die instantly 3 times.
Yeah.
In the first 15 minutes.
I was going to make the joke that you shouldn't see it, because that would mean you fell to 3K, so that'd be pretty
Yeah. Well, it's like, I'm saying that you need to know this isn't the normal situation for the hero. This isn't what he ideally does. So if you're ever doing anything other than what you ideally would do on a hero, it has to be very specific. Like, to the circumstance, right? Very specific. So it's like, if I'm Shadow Shaman, and I see this very niche situation where I think I have to TP, I know it has to be very niche. Like, I know it does. And that's all I care is that I know that. Because it requires me to, like, I'm like, I had to make a real conscious decision to do that.
Yeah.
So, in this game, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have put in 3 points in Shackle. I probably would have left it at 1 or 2. Just because you're against cancel. Like, you ain't shackling shit this game, bro.
This kind of goes counterproductive to how I played the game, but my idea was I want to level Shackle so Monkey King can hit people, and then I TP'd away from him repeatedly.
Yes. So the reason why I would say 1 or 2 is the 1 is because it's obviously a very good value point. The 2 would because in the laning stage, if you're playing predominantly around the Monkey King, it makes sense to level the skill you're using for the Monkey King. But then past the point where you're laning with Monkey King, this skill blows.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, in that case, that's why you're leveling for the point in the game you're in, and then you stop leveling for that point. I'd say at that point, you have a lot of wave clear, so you are deciding between either Shock or Hex. So at that point, it's not about wave clear really this game, it's about how much farm do you think you need to operate. So at that point, it's up to you. I actually think both are reasonable. It's for you to decide at that point. So from game to game, I don't want to tell you which one's right in this specific scenario because I don't know, because the game played so differently than you would think. This is hard to watch. I'm good to watch. I'm good to be done with this replay, dude. Unless you have something else you want to watch in this replay.
I have something else I want to watch.
What moment in the game you want me to watch?
Yeah, different game.
Oh, in a different game. Okay, I thought you meant. Okay.
This replay, just hearing that early game, and that is the first and only time I've used my wards to farm, because going back to the not having any points in queue, and I was frustrated, and I just did something stupid. So
it's great if you use your wards to farm a creep wave at their tower, so you kill the wave and then the tower. That's great. By no means is that wrong, but to farm that wave is.
I remember like being in the moment and just being like, F it, and I just dropped him, and I was like, why did I do that? Like,
you got a lot of CS for it. That's...
Yeah, man, I got something for it. So this is a position 4 Dazzle game.
Okay.
And this one, I just queue for 4 and 5 because they're both like you have to queue for them unless you want to burn roll queue games. So I just do both.
Gotcha.
So I really I know you're an offlaner, so I want to hear your perspective as to what the 4 is doing, and then going back and rewatching this game, I think I probably, like 90% sure, I took some farm I probably shouldn't have in like the mid to late game, but I just want to have a position 4 game for you to look at.
Okay. Explain to me your starting items.
I know Terrorblade and Ogre Magi have high armor, but I figured with the tiny at level 2 or 3, we could potentially go for a kill with a Blightstone.
Can you repeat yourself again?
I know they have high armor, and I bought a Blightstone anyways.
Okay.
But I thought we could kill them.
I mean, you just don't buy Blightstone against high armor heroes. That's just like not what you do. Like it's like ignore kills because you don't get kills unless you're out trading people. Like you just don't. Like you get kills by being more efficient with constantly trading better than they do and constantly playing the lane better than they do. You establish an advantage and then you kill them.
Okay.
That's how Dota works. It's not about thinking, hey, I think we can kill these guys if I like. You're gonna kill them by getting an advantage, not by buying the right item.
Okay.
For the kill itself. So it's like, if I think my timing for killing them is level 2 or 3, it's like maybe I go a late Blightstone, right? Maybe. But I can't plan for a kill that is not level 1 on heroes that Blightstone's not good against. Ogre, very high level armor support, and Terrorblade, highest base armor in the game, and you bought a Blightstone, right? I don't have much else to say about that. So like this could be, I think a Salve would be really good here. I think a Buckler would be reasonable here. I think Boots would be reasonable here because you're against Ogre. But maybe instead of Boots, maybe just a Windlace because Ogre can still ignite you, so you may need regen on top of movement speed. I'd say Windlace is definitely necessary here. I'd say like Salve, Tango, because when I say Salve, it's because the Terrorblade's going to meta, and you probably need to salve your Tiny sometime early in the lane, and then once meta's over, you don't need to anymore. And then my question would be, what is a weakness you can think of Terrorblade, Ogre, Magi? Anything? Level 1. Any
you mean their weakness or
weakness? Their weakness.
Level 1, if we force him to pop meta, then we just back off and he's kind of screwed for the rest of the lane.
Okay. So what's their plan, right? The Ogre's going to walk at you and the Terrorblade's going to pop meta, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything you can think of that would stop them from that plan?
Not being close enough for the Terrorblade to walk up.
Okay, so not being close enough, that's important. What makes you have to be close enough? Like, why would you ever go near the Terrorblade at all? Why not just sit at your tower?
I need EXP from creeps.
Yeah, the creeps. So, level 1, if they're going to want to hit you because you need to be forward because of creeps, what might help you with this problem? Isn't the window of them hitting you only as long as their creeps are alive?
Yeah.
So what might help you with this problem? Killing the fucking creep wave really fast?
Okay. Yeah, the gears were grinding. Yeah.
Okay. So what does that?
Shadow Wave.
Boom! The guy can't hit you if you don't have no creeps, man. Because then he's going to be tanking creeps because he's ranged. Right? And if he walks forward to hit you guys, he's walking through creeps. Who's stronger, level 1? You guys or them?
Them.
Okay, so are we trying to dodge fights or take them?
Dodge fights, I was leaning for
dodge.
Like more of a
take,
harassing.
dodge, take, dodge, take, dodge, take, dodge.
Okay. I will say, usually when I take Poison Touch, what ends up happening is it's more of like a back and forth thing, unless they try and run away. Like, I don't think I've ever felt like it's I take hits from them. Usually people just run away when I queue them. But I guess in this lane, that's different because
it's very
they do
different.
have some armor. Yeah.
Very different, right? So I understand you think critically about Dota, and I'm being like jokingly harsh on you right now. And
no, you're good. You're good.
I want you to understand that like it's crazy when you think it out loud, but this is from my perspective, it's insane that you don't level E. Because like as a Terrorblade, if you just E the creep wave with me on top of it, I'm like, fuck, I just lost half my health and the lanes have pushed and I can't take these creeps anymore, and now I can't hit this guy. It's like his condition is he's gonna pop meta and hit you. He needs creeps. So just don't let him have any creeps. If like in a good lane, I guarantee you the Tiny would level Avalanche, you would level E, and the minute he metas, before he metas, you're hitting the creeps, like you're hitting them. Like you're literally just auto-attacking them. And the minute he metas, Tiny can Avalanche him, you E, and like suddenly he's meta'd and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, what's his game plan after that? Like, you just wait till meta's over and then
cries,
you do,
probably.
yeah, and then he cries, right? Okay. And that's why you need a salve. because there's going to be this early engagement most likely. That's unavoidable. You want to be able to get rid of those creeps. So you're fucking with this ogre instead of the Terrorblade. He's not even having the meta. It's like reasonable what you're doing. I think your game plan makes sense. I think the ogre is kind of just being a Pega by walking that far away from his Terrorblade. Good thing you blocked the small camp. That was good. I just want you to realize my play, there's no counterplay. Your play, if the guy's not stupid, he's not dying. So yeah. I think it's fine the way you played it. You capitalize on him being dumb, but the game plan going into the lane relied on him being dumb.
Yeah, I think I'm partially being conditioned by people being dumb when they see Dazzle. So that's.
I just want you to think to yourself, when you punish people being dumb, it's good to punish people being dumb.
Yeah.
But was that something that I relied on, or something I was just ready to punish?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. So in this case, I'd say it's something you relied on. Great job pulling the large camp. You've done good in that regard so far. It is crazy to me how important it is to understand pull camps and how 90% of support players, even at my fucking bracket, don't. Okay? So you've done a really good job understanding pull camps. I saw your Shadow Shaman lane. You're actually executing the use of the large camp or the small camp at like a 6 or 7k level. I'm not actually exaggerating that. I would be happy with your knowledge of the camp usage in my games. I would be happy with it. Okay,
so I got one thing going for me. All right.
Yeah, it is very good. So when it comes to your items and specific way of transitioning past the laning stage, it actually is going to just all be about understanding matchups. You said you don't understand matchups. You said coming into that, so I get that. So I'm going to keep praising you in ways that I think are necessary. Like, I want you to have the confidence to know these lane pulls and the giving solo XP to your Tiny here. This shit fucking owns, man. You are owning this lane, okay? Like, we're ignoring the item build. The Windlace is great. Now, because of the way you're playing, you're probably going to go block the small camp. I think that's what you're doing.
I do.
Yeah, this is actually better than my games, okay? I actually want to tell you. If my 4 position played like this for the first 2 minutes of the game, I would win every fucking lane.
Well, hopefully I'll see you in a couple years.
Yeah, maybe in a couple years. It's just raw, experience you'll have to get. So your offlaner is going to get... At this point, I think I would try to get level 2. Just soak level 2 from him. I've given him a really nice start. Soak level 2 from him here. Give a little poison touch. This is good. Maybe a bit of an... Oh, okay. I see what you guys were going for. It's reasonable. Yeah, I'd get level 2 here and then fuck off. Cool. Got level 2.
Actually what I do. I think I'd get like pick 4 right now.
This is good. This is good. The Terrorblade meta expired and you're going to go walk over and contest. This is great. You're going to go fuck with the Terrorblade. This is great. This is fantastic. Okay.
Imagine if I didn't have a Blightstone and had boots right now.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah. 2 points poison touch. Okay.
I rarely don't go like poison touch first, and I'll usually get grave at forward. But unless obviously like if a fight's about to happen, like we're gonna need grave 2 or 3.
I don't even level grave until like 6 or 7, dude. Or 7 or 8, I guess, because you always level it at 6. So you pick up bounties. You warded to see the pull camp. You're gonna stop the pull. Not pulling, so you're fine. You're using poison touch well, but you're not using your E really at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good. Well, there you go. All right, when I say that, I guess I accidentally selected this guy. So at this point, I'll ask you. We're going to flip the script here because you're a 4 instead of a 5.
Yeah.
Is it good that you play with your Tiny continuously, or is it good that you leave him to his devices at this point? You've established him a lead. So based on the way you're playing lanes, I'm going to tell you right now. Like, I'm pretty confident, based on the way you're playing lanes, you're going to win 80% of your lanes. Okay? Like, 80%. Like, if you're playing a hero confidently and you're using the pull camps the way you are, you're going to lead to winning the lanes most games. So, for the sake of MMR growth and simplicity's sake, I'm going to mainly prepare you to win lanes for the time being. Eventually, that's not going to be the case, but for now, it is. So, when you are winning in the safe lane, we talked about all those dynamics. So, we're flipping the script. I didn't give you the chance to answer, but is it good or bad for you to play with this Tiny? Give all your thought you could possibly come up with. I need to hear your reasoning as much as you can.
Okay. So in this situation, Dazzle is definitely a save hero because of TP Shallow Grave. Our AM and our Quap both have Blink, so at the same time, I'm sort of not too scared about them dying, although Quap is against a Meepo, so she can get chain netted, which is a problem. My inclination here was to kind of flipping the script from last game was I thought we just had to crush the Terror Blade and not let him come online at all. So my inclination was to stay up here and just mess with him as much as possible.
Okay.
And also, I don't want to stand around the AM because if I'm around the AM, it's going to draw other people towards the AM and he just wants to farm.
I was going to ask, is your carry a type of hero that wants you nearby him? And the answer, you already answered that. So you've obviously watched my content on that specific question because that's exactly how I ask it. So, okay. So, great. So I'm going to tell you this level in Shadow Wave, or level in Grave is absolute dog shit. Absolute fucking dog shit. So what's great about this concept is that you say you want to play top, right? So what does Tiny, like, okay, so Tiny's your playmaker. If you're going to go to another lane, I assume you know it's mid, right? That would be like the save lane, potentially. Maybe help the Quap if you see an opportunity, right? Like with a gank. But you're more of just a consistent pressuring hero, right? Rather than a ganker. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You're more of a, like, you know, you Q people in lane, you Shadow Wave, you heal yourself, your teammate, you damage opponents. Like, that's more consistent trading. So the reason why I hate Grave is you have 500 total mana. Okay, your spells are very expensive, and your 2 spells that you would like to use at this stage in the game very spammable, very spammable spells. So you want to use them as often as possible, as efficiently as possible, and efficiently as possible includes the fact that you spend an extra 10 mana to do 500 damage instead of 320.
Yeah,
you know, if you get all the targets theoretically, right? It's also a heal, so it's an extra 20 heal per unit.
Bigger swing,
Yeah, it's just every mana you're spending on this spell is going to be better spent. So it's just like, that's efficiency for you. And if you had to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of your offlane hero when it comes to pressuring the Terrorblade, name some strengths and weaknesses of your Tiny.
Well, as demonstrated by that kill earlier, he just walks up and we burst him down because I like Shadow Wave him while he's in the avalanche toss and just goes from 100 to 0 in no time. So
okay, so when you get kills as offlane, based on last game, what's like the best way to capitalize on kills?
Pressure the tower.
Okay, so what does his hero not do that yours does?
I can clear creeps.
You clear the creeps really fast, and you're skipping the ability that does that, right? Like you took Grave instead of the ability that clears the creeps. So that's Grave what I'm getting at, right? So I think your reason to play top is great. Your execution of playing top is just inefficient with this skill point in your Grave. So it's like Grave is an exception, right? Like it's like I would love to go 4-0-4, man. I would actually love it. But it's like if I absolutely need Grave at some point, I'm gonna level it. Okay, so it's good.
I just want to say I'm glad you're saying that because like part of me, like this little inner voice in my head is like, don't level Grave. But the moment somebody dies and you don't Grave them, and it's just like, even if I'm like, dude, I don't have Grave. Like just hearing somebody else say like, you don't need Grave at level 4 unless you need it like in the moment. Like that's
pretty much. The only time I'm leveling this before 6 is if in the middle of an engagement I hit 5 and some guy's dying.
Yeah, okay.
That's actually pretty much the circumstance that I level this shit.
I just needed to hear that from somebody.
Or I get a level and I have 225 mana and they've used all their stuns and I can Grave TP myself out of there. These are the niche levels of situations that I would level Grave. So I have done it, by the way, but it's like, just defaulting to leveling. I think that's fine as your level of play. Like you're learning matchups, you're learning a lot about the game. Being confident enough to know that, like, you know, from somebody who's played a lot of fucking Dota, that's about the circumstance I would level Grave is important. So it's like if I want to pressure this top lane, not only like Tiny represents all the kill threat we'll ever need. I don't need to do more of that. But we need to pressure this tower. You farming this big camp makes my eyes bleed, sir.
That's what I was talking about. Man. I was just like, I'm not sure what to do, and you're like pushing the tower, and I'm just like hitting a creep, man.
Bleed. My eyes are bleeding. You just spent mana and like 400 health killing one creep. Bleeding. My eyes are bleeding.
Trust me, I realized in the as soon as I was like, I'm at 200 health. This was stupid. Like,
these are the type of things you learn. But I would say it's safe to say as a support, if you're capable of pressuring the tower, you don't hit neutrals like that until that tower is dead. Until that tower is dead. Like, there's going to be exceptions to that. It's not like set in stone. But for the time being, play like that with the assumption. And then you'll notice times where you could have squeezed in a camp or something, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, with Dazzle, you should never farm big camp stacks like that without pulling, because your Shadow Wave just kills the camp with creeps. So, like, this lane should be at their fucking tower getting dove constantly.
Yeah,
like, that's what this should be.
This is kind of that, like... Sorry, this is that kind of moment where I'm like, I'm not sure what to do kind of deal.
And
like,
you're not sure what to do because that lane's not shoved into their tower and there's nobody to dive. That's why you and Tiny are kind of like your Tiny's equally as bad as you for keeping the lane out back, right? You just poison touched the creep wave again, bro. Or creep camp again, bro. Why is that ogre not fucking dead, bro? This ogre needs to die. You're letting a 5 position guard the tower when you guys got like 4 kills in lane. So this is naturally the rotation that's supposed to happen after you've taken the tower. That tower should already be dead. That's a great rotation when that tower's dead. Yeah. If you're a 4 position and you won your lane and you push lanes, that tower fucking dies, sir. It dies. Every single ounce of your energy, every single brain cell you have is dedicated to how do I fucking kill this tower as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Okay? That's 4 position in a nutshell. If you're like an Earth Spirit, that's a bit different. Like if you're like a ganking 4, like that's a bit different. Right? But, like, it's still the same. You're still thinking about killing the tower, but you're not the one that pushes it. You're the one that kills the guy defending it.
Yeah, yeah.
So if your teammate pushes the tower naturally, you're the guy that's trying to help him gank. A lot of times in the offlane, it's great to have one hero that kills and one hero that pushes, right? That's usually the ideal. So, like, when you have a Venomancer, usually your 4 positions like a Clock or, you know, a Dark or Earthshaker or Spirit. Like, you have a ganking 4 with the pushing offlaner. If you have, like, a Mars as a ganking offlaner, your support's often a ranged nuker. You know, it's like a Rubik or, you know, Dazzle would be okay to fit that description. The idea is that, like, you know, these heroes work well in tandem because the whole idea is to get that tower. So, that's why Beastmaster usually has, like, a ranged nuker early, and then he's the one that takes the tower, so he just needs a nuker. Okay, so... His ogre's now gotten a level 6 up top for whatever fucking reason he's allowed to exist, but he's dead. Tower dies, but no, it doesn't die. Oh, ogre's back. The tower does die, better late than never. But our entire progression in the game is slowed. Like this tower is a gateway tower. You kill that tower, you go do all the shit you want to do mid, you go fuck with them at the triangle, you go clear extra waves. You even have time to farm top if you want. Like, these are all your options. You're ganking towards their triangle. You're farming top as a support because you're a hero that clears waves. It's beautiful if you have a support if you have an offlaner, excuse me, that's more of a rotating hero. You gave them a good start. Guess what that means for you?
Money.
Money, farm, creeps. Like, and, for you, I would be walking top, staying top, killing creeps off cooldown, killing creep camps, getting fucking Greaves at, like, 16 minutes in the game based on how well this lane went. Like, actually, 4 position Dazzle getting fucking Greaves. And then, I'm playing like a carry at that point. Like, I'm literally farming top, but I'm showing up to every single fight.
Yeah, and I will, a couple things real quick. I get what you're saying, yeah, and I do end up farming the ever-loving crap out of top, but, in that
never TP like this, though.
Yeah.
Because you're a farmer that has to fight, but continue.
In that period where I was waffling, I was like, Tiny, can I have the lane? And he like pinged like he's like 300 gold from Blink or whatever. And then that's when he started rotating. And then that's when I start kind of farming up here a little bit. I had something else I was going to say in that blank, so hopefully it'll come back to me. But I think we mainly just focus on trying to shut down TB this game.
Yeah, this game's simple, man. If you put emphasis... I want you to actually play Dazzle like 4 or 5 times now, okay? Like... Just play this.
I actually play him quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So play him. Play him a good amount, and you can practice this concept. I think he's one of the best heroes to do it. He's just really easy to do it with. He naturally kills people if they're stupid, and he clears waves better than literally like any other support in the game. So it's like you need to understand that once you get this lead, that tower dies ASAP, and then once you get that tower, you are clearing that wave into that tier 2. No move happens on this map without that wave at their tier 2 when you are winning, okay? Like, that wave is at their fucking tier 2, and you conveniently walk into their jungle because you're right fucking there, and they have no information of where you're at because the wave's at their tier 2, right? Well, like, if the opponent's not fucking stupid, they just saw 2 heroes show top, and then there's just a creep wave not getting farmed there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that in my bracket. That's, like, so fucking obvious to me.
Yeah.
Like, if they see that, like, if we look at the opponent's perspective, right? We see this.
Yeah.
We see 2 heroes. And then just no heroes.
Yeah.
This is real fucking obvious. Like, you know, it's all about the information you're giving to the opponent. If this lane's pushing to their tier 2, he has to assume you're running at him and he has no idea what you're doing, though. You could just be farming the small camp.
Yeah.
So you're like, you could technically be farming a small camp and pressuring their carry at the same time by, like, pushing the lane into their tower and farming it, right?
Yeah.
Because he just has no idea.
It's like the threat of I could be anywhere, so you have to play for all of them.
Exactly.
It only applies if he's thinking about it, right? So it's
Well, yeah,
like...
but the thing is, he's clearly not thinking, so you can just be farming and killing him, you know? So it's like...
Yeah.
So yeah, you show up to every fight. I would be defaulting to top, though, until Anti-Mage has Battle Fury +1, probably. He doesn't even have a Battle Fury yet. Because the only reason I'm defaulting to top until that is why? Why am I saying that?
I'm sorry,
I said you're defaulting to you're defaulting to top until Anti-Mage has Battle Fury. Why?
Because then he can farm the top wave.
That's what he wants to do, right, at that stage. So that's understanding your course.
We go in too hard and
you've missed about 9 creep waves too many top, maybe even more.
Yeah.
And you need to be warding for yourself to do just that. Their entire jungle needs to be warded the fuck out of. You need to protect yourself because you're a flash farmer that is not survivable if you get caught. This is good. Better late than never. This is just way late, right? This is exactly what should have been happening at, honestly, 8 minutes into the game. 8 fucking minutes into the game. I'm not even trolling. That tower dies, you're playing like this at 8 minutes. And the thing about it, if you do it correctly and efficiently at 8 minutes, their fucking cores are like level 7. Their supports are like level 4. They can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, they can't stop you. That's the beauty of it, because you're a support whose abilities naturally do this shit, right? So you don't need to wait until 17 minutes in. You don't need a Battle Fury to play like this. You can just have mana.
He has spells, man.
You just have mana and you can play like this. And now you're actually playing like this, but your Anti-Mage is top. So it's like, you have 2 heroes doing the same job.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, where it's like, I'm pretty sure I, like, stole some farm from people, but, yeah.
That's the
thing,
if I've
been doing it earlier before he has Battle Fury, it's not, he doesn't.
And then you have these greaves and you don't feel like you need to farm, and then you can play behind your cores that are farming bottom like this. You're going to TP to fights. Okay. Show that you have a ward, nice.
Yeah.
No wand on Dazzle, yoicks. Okay. Get a good kill or a good fight.
I get bodied because I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, farming the dead lane when they're all dead is the best thing you can do, and you have to leave by the time they can physically get there. It's really that simple. It's actually really easy to do. You're just like, when they're all dead, farm that lane, and then just think to yourself, how long does it take for whoever's respawning to get here, and that's how long you're supposed to stay. Perfect map awareness, like, you just, when I say it, like, that's what it takes for perfect map awareness, you obviously just stayed long enough for Meepo to get there. So.
Yeah, and
that's where the opponent's going to default to, right?
Meepo, so it's like, yeah, but they want to play down there.
Literally any ganking hero in the game respawning is going to do that to you.
Yeah.
So that applies in so many more situations than just Meepo.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm saying I didn't know his timing.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. For me, this is good enough. We have about 15 more minutes. So, would you have one more game you want to watch, or do you want to watch more of this game? What do you want to do?
I don't really have a game I want to watch or anything. I got like what I wanted from this. I mean, if there's just any concepts you want to talk about or anything you can really think of, just as like more.
Yeah, I've never had a session where the guy's like, yeah, I've actually I learned all I came here for, and I'm done. Let me think here. Let me think here. Yikes, man. I need to play more games, so I stopped seeing. This is a nice game history right here.
Yeah. It's always nice when it's straight green down. You're like, I don't want to scroll down.
Yeah, let's just keep scrolling down. Yeah, my games are so swingy. Losses, greens, losses. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Just thinking for you.
I mean, I do appreciate what you're saying about the lane, so at least I know like my laning concepts are decent, and because a lot of that is habit, it's just more of that initial item buying, it's like I said, it's like I bought a Blightstone anyways. It's like, why would I ever do that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I said what I shouldn't do and did it anyways, and that's just like that classic, like, whatever. I'm just gonna do it instead of like sitting there and being like, well, do I get a wind lace? Do I get a stick? Do I get whatever?
So my emphasis for you though in this lane is that I talked about, what Terrorblade's going to do level 1.
Yeah,
And I don't think most people most people even in like 6K don't consider the fact that if the opponent needs to hit you, that if you just kill their creep wave, they can't hit you.
yeah. That's
So I want that to be like the communication I gave to you about this lane matchup is just consider if there's a hero that wants to hit you a lot, if you can rapid clear the first wave, it's like a great way to counter that, right?
Okay.
That's the main thing I want to teach here. Like you'll learn your own about the Blightstone and all that kind of stuff, but that's like a new thought process I'm sure you've never been introduced to. So
I've never thought of that. Yeah.
So that's the things about Dota that you learn where it's like you hear like a brief thought about it. It's like, wow, I can stop a guy from hitting me if I just kill all of his creeps really fast.
Yeah.
And suddenly you approach every single matchup where the guy wants to hit you differently. You consider that as an option, right? And it's like in some games it's just a really good option. You watch Dubu play, he talks about this kind of shit when he doesn't say the explanation, but he just says like push the creep wave really fast and I'm gonna pull. And it's like for me, I know what he means. Like I know why he wants me to do it, right? But it's like if you don't explain explicitly why, the viewers watch that shit and they're just like, well,
they just thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, they won the lane, but like, why? They don't really understand why. So these are the type of things that I want to teach somebody like you. I mean, I think I want to teach everybody, but clearly you are applying yourself. Clearly you're, like, honestly, I'm not just saying this to like make you feel better. Your pull execution makes me really happy that I can see this at a 3K bracket at somebody who's only played the game for 6 months. Because in my personal opinion, basic understanding of stopping the small camp and pulling the large camp and managing the lane equilibrium accordingly is actually pretty fucking easy. Like, I actually think it's pretty easy if applied. Like, it's hard to apply yourself, I think. But, like, with me seeing this, it's like you haven't been playing Dota for very long, and you're doing it as well as I could possibly ask you to. And it's owning your lanes. Like, you're actually just owning. Your Monkey King was like a level and a half ahead of the Beastmaster before you fucked it up. In this lane, you guys could have taken the tower before you tried to farm a big camp. So for you, I want you and everyone watching to be confident that what you do in the first, like, 4 or 5 minutes, on average here, has fucking owned. The one game that you lost the first 4 or 5 minutes was the Witch Doctor game you showed me. You didn't block the large camp, and you didn't buy a windlace, and the game looks day and night, right?
Yeah.
Like, day and night, right? It's actually that first, like, 2 or 3 minutes that can just crush it. And, like, it actually does. It happens in my bracket, too. Like, there's plenty of lanes that I'll win or lose in the first 2 minutes, right? And it's all about these very micro decisions. And recognizing the importance of those micro decisions can go a really long way for you. So it seems like you do at least respect me enough to like trust me on that one. Like you have definitely put a lot of thought in like understanding that is important. And then moving forward, right? It's like tower. Do I leave this guy? Do I play with this guy? Do I prioritize myself? Do I prioritize him? What part of the map do my cores want to play? What options does my support hero have? Can I defend towers? Do I push lanes? Do I push towers? Do I gank? Do I counter gank? What are these options, right? And then it's like, if you can first identify exactly what your hero does, like that's the hard that's the easier part actually. It's like with Shadow Shaman, it's like, dude, you're just not a fucking counter ganker. Stop counter ganking, right? Like that's not what your hero does. So and immediately in your game plan, all the stuff you do should be predicated around playing what your hero wants to do. And it's like eventually, not only do you realize what your hero wants to do, but most heroes in the game have options. Right? They have multiple ways they can play. Aggressively pushing lanes, pushing towers, defending towers, sitting behind somebody. They have multiple ways they can play. So then as support, it's like, which one of those fits into my teammates' heroes the best? It's like, okay, if I could have defended towers, but I have an offlaner that already does that. I could be pressuring towers, but I have somebody that already does that. I could be sitting behind this guy, but he doesn't need it. I could be ganking for this guy. Oh, wait, this hero could really use a ganker. Okay, I guess I'll go do that. Yeah. It's like, oh. That's the hard part, though, because then you have to start to understand all the heroes on your fucking team and all the heroes on the opponent team. That's why it's hard to play support. Like, that's actually the hardest part about playing support. You've got a lot of the things right in the laning stage about for yourself, and now it's like, how do we capitalize on those hero matchups in the mid-game? And so you asked about that coming in and emphasizing to you and everyone else, just remember the questions that apply in every matchup, right? Like every time you're a 5, you win your lane, you should ask that question about how often you want to stay bottom. It's like, and if I'm a ganker or counter ganker, am I going to want to walk away or TP away? That alone is worth so fucking much. If you make that decision right, suddenly your first, like, it seems like your first 6 minutes are really good, but that next 3 minutes will look really nice.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
I was gonna say that's something like the feast or famine thing wasn't something I've ever thought about at all. It's just, is my carry ahead? Oh, okay, I can play on the map. Not, does he need to get more ahead? Do we need to just make sure? Do I need to babysit this guy, right? And make sure that we get those kills. So that's something I definitely wanted to hear.
The dynamic I showed you that I really have never talked about, the one where the opponent's likely to bring a support to your carry, and then you need to be ready to counteract that. It's like if you leave your carry, the 2 reasons you could come back are proactively saying, oh, we can dive. Or reactively that if the opponent goes there, you also want to go there. Like, knowing whether or not which one of those is the reasons why you would return is, like, really important. Because one of them is you doing it on your own accord because it's good. And, like, that would be the case if you were, like, really early level 6. Like, you would proactively go back to your Monkey King to take the tower with your early level 6. Reactively is in the way we already talked about. And that kind of shit, if you know exactly the reasoning behind your hero, man, it goes so fucking far, dude. It makes decisions so fucking easy. Like, when would this hero want to be proactive? When would it be reactive? Achieving that level of understanding is difficult, right? It is. Like, that's, why pro players are so much better usually, because they have so much more experience. But it's like, I think for someone like you, as long as you keep these questions in your head, you keep thinking about it this way, you're going to be good to go. So I'm not going to be redundant anymore. Do you have any final questions before we wrap it up?
No, actually, that's what I mean. That's part of why I wanted the coaching from you, is because you're an offlaner, so you see me from the other side and next to you. So that's why I want to be like, okay, what does an offlaner want to do? What are they?
Dude, just remember, man, these questions, just flip them, man, for the other side. Just flip them, right?
Yeah, that's why it's good, man. That's why it's good.
That's why it bothers me when, like, offlaners don't understand how to, like, play the lane as a carry. It's like, I don't understand you to know how to play that exact hero, but I understand that you know how to play the offlane as an offlaner, so just do the opposite. But okay, man. Thanks for signing up. Hope you continue your climb. It was a good coaching session. So
yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for your time, man. Have a good one.
See you. That was a really good coaching session.